Jacques Duval was a French playwright and director. He said, "God loved the birds and invented trees. Man loved the birds and invented cages." This quote tells us that God gave the birds something that they liked, to show how we love them. It also says that man loved the birds, but kept them in cages because they were loved. People put the birds in cages to admire them, even though they know the birds aren't meant to be in there. We're only thinking of ourselves when we do this. We don't ask ourselves, how does this bird feel with no freedom in the cage? I think that it is unfair to keep the bird inside when they are meant to be outside animals. People are just being selfish. If we really love an animal, we will leave it in the wild where it feels safe. Thomas Jefferson was the third president of the United States, the first Secretary of State, and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. He said, "The harder I work, the luckier I get." I think this quote means that if you work really hard to do something, after long hours of work, you will get your reward. An example of this quote is when Andrew Foster founded the Negro National League in 1920 in the hopes that blacks would soon be accepted into Major League Baseball. His hard work paid off 27 years later, as blacks were finally accepted into the majors with the signing of Jackie Robinson in 1947. I love basketball. In fact, it is my favorite sport, and I practice almost every single day to get better. As a result of all the hard work I've done, I am now viewed as the best basketball player in the grade, and I have won many trophies. 1/4 of those are championship trophies. I think I have been lucky in basketball because I have worked very hard. Luck has had nothing to do with it.
Nelson Mandela was a black civil rights leader in South Africa. He was imprisoned for his activities. In jail, he educated the kids and worked and still worked for black rights. He eventually became the president of South Africa. Nelson Mandela won the Nobel Prize in 1993. He said, "I learned that courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear." I think this quote means that even if you feel fear, you must be stronger than that fear and overcome it. Let's say someone is bullying your friend and you want to tell them to stop, and you fear that he or she will start bullying you, but you tell them to stop anyways. That is true courage and bravery because you stood up for what, because you were stronger than the fear and you overcame it. I think that I remember this quote every time I feel afraid. Spider-Man is a well-known superhero who has the ability to shoot spiderwebs from his wrist. In his first movie, he said, "With great power comes great responsibility." I think what he means is if you have skill, you have the responsibility to use it wisely. For instance, Spider-Man uses this skill of shooting spiderwebs from his wrist to capture bad people and save good people. I'm a great goalie, and I use this skill to help my team win games, but not brag about it. I think that if you have skill, you should use it for good, not bad.
Albert Einstein was born at Ulm in Württemberg, Germany, and died in Princeton, New Jersey. He has made many inventions, books, and scientific discoveries over the years, and earned the Nobel Prize in the end. He once said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." I think this is a pretty straightforward statement, but you really have to think hard to truly understand what it means. Knowledge has limits. When I was young, I used to play with paper clips a lot. According to the dictionary, a paper clip is a length of wire bent into flat loops that is used to hold paper together. The dictionary doesn't have an imagination, though. If it did, there would be thousands of holograms for paperclip, including giraffe, airplane, and Ottawa, Canada. And anything could be very different if you imagine.
Martin Luther King Jr. once said, In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. I think Martin Luther King Jr. was talking about the people that stood by and didn't do anything or say anything when Black people were being discriminated against and treated unfairly. We didn't really expect our enemies to ever be nice to us, but we do expect our friends to be there for us. When they are not, we get angry or disappointed. In 3rd grade, someone made a club and didn't let someone else in. She wanted me in really badly, so I used that to my advantage. I told her that I wouldn't go in the club unless the other person was let in. This helped us become really good friends, and we've been friends ever since. Here's some advice. If someone is getting bullied, stand up for them and don't be afraid to. You could end up being best friends.